Assalamu alaikum. This is Mohammad Singh welcoming you all to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. BNP Chairperson Khaleda's health condition remains unchanged to be taken abroad if medical board agrees. Bangladesh Navy's annual sea exercise ends with successful missile launching in Bay of Bengal. BNP leader Fazlur Rahman ordered to appear before International Crimes Tribunal on December 8 on contempt of court. A dengue outbreak remains safe even in winter. Infection may increase in December as well. The family court operations start in Chattogram. Litigants to be able to complete case proceedings easily. A death toll crosses 70,000 as Israeli attacks continue in Gaza. And Pakistan win Tri-Nation Series, defeating Sri Lanka by 6 wickets in Rawalpindi. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. BNP Chairperson and former Prime Minister Khaleda's physical condition has remained at the same state for the last 3 consecutive days in the hospital. However, it is reported that on Saturday, after 3 days, she spoke a little. Although the party and family are taking initiative to take her abroad for advanced treatment, doctors have said that her current physical condition is not suitable for enduring the strain of long travel. It has been stated that she will be taken abroad as soon as the medical board grants approval. Khaleda's personal physician Dr. Jahid said her treatment is being conducted and will continue based on joint consultation with doctors from hospitals in the United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, China and the United States. At the Saturday afternoon news briefing, BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir said communication is ongoing with several potential countries including UK and the United States. Arrangements for an air ambulance and the visa process are also progressing. A party source said a team of doctors from China may arrive in Dhaka on Monday. Meanwhile, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif sent a letter praying for the recovery of BNP Chairperson and former Prime Minister Khaleda. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus and President Muhammad Shahabuddin are closely monitoring Khaleda's overall situation. Reports of BNP Chairperson and former Prime Minister Khaleda's admission to the hospital in a critical condition have been published in various international media. Qatar-based news outlet Al Jazeera reported Khaleda is admitted to hospital in very critical condition. Citing AFP news agency, a Gulf News also published a story with the same headline on Saturday. In addition, Pakistan's Dawn News and several other news channels published reports on her deteriorating health. India's NDTV ran multiple stories, one of which on Friday was titled, "A former Bangladesh Prime Minister admitted to hospital in critical condition." The Times of India, The Hindu, Hindustan Times and several other Indian media outlets also covered the news prominently. Quoting BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir, Arab News wrote, Khaleda's physical condition is very critical. The former Prime Minister is currently receiving treatment at Africa Hospital in the capital. Her family and political supporters have urged the people of the country to pray for her quick recovery. The annual naval exercise of the Bangladesh Navy concluded with a successful missile launch in the Bay of Bengal, showcasing various military techniques. The 5-day exercise highlighted various aspects of the naval fleet's tactical exercises, observation of the sea area, and logistical operations. Not only the missile launching, the exercise was also a demonstration of the strength of the Bangladesh Navy. At least 10 warships of various types, including frigates, corvettes, minesweepers, patrol craft, missile boats, and other warships of the Bangladesh Navy participated in this exercise. The Navy's maritime patrol aircraft, helicopters, and specialist force SWATs also showed their readiness in the exercise. At the invitation of the Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Najmul Hassan, the interim government's Home Affairs Advisor, retired Lieutenant General Jahangir Alam Chaudhary, Environment and Forest Advisor Said Rizwan Hassan, Industries Advisor Adilur Rahman Khan, Law and Justice Advisor Dr. Asif Nazrul, Cabinet Secretary Dr. Sheikh Abdul Rashid witnessed the final day's exercise from Admiral Khalid bin Walid. Other high-ranking military and civilian officials were present on the occasion. The final day's exercise demonstrated missile launching from Bangladesh Navy ships, a shoulder-launched surface-to-air missile firing, anti-air rapid open fire, rocket depth charge fire, UAV operations, naval commando exercise, visit, boat search, and seizure BBSs, and various techniques of naval warfare. The main objective of this annual exercise of the Navy is to preserve the country's sovereignty in the maritime area, maintain marine resources, provide security for sea routes, prevent smuggling, suppress piracy, preserve biodiversity in coastal areas, and ensure patrolling in the maritime area. The exercise demonstrated the strength of the Bangladesh Navy in protecting this vast sea and its marine resources. The exercise also showed that the Navy members are always ready to protect the sovereignty of Bangladesh. The International Crimes Tribunal 1 has summoned Advocate Fazlur Rahman on charges of contempt of court for making disparaging remarks about the tribunal. He has been ordered to appear in person and provide an explanation on December 8. A hearing on the matter was held today at Crimes Tribunal 1. Earlier, on November 26, prosecutor Ghazi Manwar Hussain Tamim filed a contempt of court complaint against Advocate Fazlur Rahman at the International Crimes Tribunal. Meanwhile, the prosecution has completed its opening statement in the crimes against humanity case against Jashod leader Hassanul Haqqinu for the killing of 6 people in Kushtia. The next witness hearing is scheduled for tomorrow. Tribunal 2 has also dismissed Hassanul Haqqinu's review petition. Today, the witness hearing was conducted by a 3-member judicial panel of International Crimes Tribunal 2, headed by Chairman Justice Nazrul Islam Chaudhary. The remaining members of the tribunal are retired District and Session Judge Muhammad Manjurul Basit and District and Session Judge Nur Muhammad Shariar Kabir. In the allegation, phone conversation with Sheikh Hasina are cited as evidence of command responsibility in the killing of 6 people in Kushtia during the July-August movement crackdown. Earlier, on October 23, the tribunal framed formal charges against Inu. Later, Chief Prosecutor Tajul Islam briefed the journalist. Winter usually brings relief by reducing dengue transmission, but this year the situation is different. Entomologists fear that dengue infections may not decline this winter as they usually do. If infections decrease, it may take at least another 2 years for dengue to return to normal seasonal patterns, they said. Entomologists warned if the situation continues, dengue may persist at high levels till January. has stressed the need for coordinated efforts to control Aedes mosquitoes. The Directorate General of Health Services sources said more than 4,000 dengue patients were admitted to hospitals in the past week alone. So far this year, 377 people have died from the dengue disease, making November the deadliest month. The highest number of cases has been reported in Dhaka. A public health expert stressed that effective mosquito control measures must be strengthened immediately to curb dengue menace. The E-Family Court started its operation in the Chattogram court. The E-Family Court has inaugurated by Liaquat Ali Mullah, Secretary of Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs at the District Bar Association auditorium. He said that e-courts have opened a new horizon in the judicial system in Chattogram. In this, the litigants will have the opportunity to complete their judicial process of the case easily. The Senior District and Session Judge Hamaduddin delivered the welcome speech at the inaugural ceremony. Metropolitan Session Judge Hassanul Islam, Joint Secretary of the Ministry of Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, Mohammad Azizul Haq, Chief Judicial Magistrate Mohammad Shuaib Talukdar, Sheikh Rashid Haidar Noor, DIG of Chattogram Ranger Police Hassan Habib Palash, and President of the District Bar Association Abdul Sattar, among others, delivered speeches. A documentary on the activities of the e-court and the facilities and benefits of the litigants was screened at the ceremony. Now, international news. The Gaza's Health Ministry said the death toll from Israeli genocidal war against the Palestinian people in Gaza has surpassed 70,000 as Israeli military attacks continue. The ministry said on Saturday that at least 70,100 people have been killed across the Gaza Strip since Israel's genocidal war against the Palestinian people in Gaza began on October 7 in 2023. More than 170,900 others have been wounded. The grim milestone comes as Israel has continued to launch attacks on Gaza despite a United States brokered ceasefire with Hamas that came into effect last month. Medics reported earlier on Saturday that 2 Palestinian children were killed in an Israeli drone attack on the town of Bani Suhaila, east of Khan Yunis in southern Gaza. Witnesses said drones dropped a bomb on a group of civilians near Al-Farabi school on Saturday morning, killing 2 brothers, Juma and Fadi Tamir Abu Asi. The 2 boys were taken to the Nasser Medical Complex in Khan Yunis with critical injuries, where they were later pronounced dead. Also on Saturday, the Israeli military launched ground, naval and air attacks on several parts of Gaza. Medical sources reported that 3 Palestinians were injured as a result of Israeli artillery and air bombardment in the town of Al-Qarara, northeast of Khan Yunis. Venezuela has accused U.S. President Donald Trump of making a colonialist threat after he said the airspace around the country should be considered closed. The country's foreign ministry called Trump's comments another extravagant, illegal and unjustified aggression against the Venezuelan people. The U.S. does not legally have the authority to close another country's airspace, but Trump's online post could lead to trouble, uncertainty and deter airlines from operating there. The U.S. has been building its military presence in the Caribbean, which officials say is to combat drug smuggling. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro has dismissed U.S. claims of drug trafficking, rather termed it as an attempt to oust him. In a post on Truth Social, Trump wrote, "To all airlines, pilots, drug dealers and human traffickers, please consider the airspace above the surrounding Venezuela to be closed in its entirety." Ukrainian naval drones hit two old tankers from Russia's so-called Shadow Fleet as they traveled through the Black Sea. A footage verified by the British media, BBC, showed waterborne drones speeding through the waves into the vessels before detonating into a ball of flame, sending black smoke into the air. The targeted tankers were named by Turkish authorities as the Kairos and Virat, both flagged to Gambia. Both were hit off the Turkish coast on Friday, with the Virat reportedly struck again on Saturday. No casualties were reported. The attacks appeared to be an escalation by Kiev as it tries to hit Russia's oil revenues, which are critical for funding its war in Ukraine. The two ships are reportedly part of Russia's Shadow Fleet, a term that refers to the hundreds of tankers used by Russia to bypass Western sanctions imposed after its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. 4 people were killed and 10 wounded in a shooting during a family gathering at a banquet hall in Stockton of California in the USA. A spokesperson for the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office, Heather Brand, said the victims included both children and adults. All indications suggest this may have been a targeted incident, Brand said during a news conference at the scene. A local official said the suspected shooter has not been caught and pleaded with the public for help. Detectives were still working to identify a possible motive. The shooting occurred just before 6 p.m. inside the banquet hall, which shares a parking lot with other businesses.